now for packaging of split around and the other ones to empower themselves. The money is there. But everything is wrong with what you're about. Because we are close.
Joseph Boga to forget about Yaka Koluba.
What is Boga Dilo Yaka Koluba?
He tell Yaka Koluba. Someone Yaka Koluba pass you. You are not allowed to do that. You forsake yourself. Yaka Koluba pass you. Yaka Koluba pass you for real. You want to know what you say Yaka Koluba. So to them man, and you say you say Yaka Koluba for them. And I'm gonna work for Yaka Koluba there. You know when I move to do around there, you move to all the way to go just to take the go for Yaka Koluba.
Last year you go for Yaka.
Yes.
From Benin.
Because Yaka Koluba and the one that is talking for you was. So you are telling to this Yaka Koluba because a budget.
Oh, Yaka can be talking to the president. It's not a good thing.
Yes, yes. They're happy. Saying that you are not happy to you. When you are not going to betray Yaka Koluba or betray the Nigerian people and lie to them, Yaka Koluba is not going to force you. You understand? You have to get them out of there for Yaka Koluba. You can't let Yaka Koluba there. You cannot go to the line.
You go for Yaka?
You have to respect them. They don't just respect Yaka Koluba for them. You don't want to respect Yaka Koluba for them. They see that they do for them for Yaka Koluba. They don't forget for Yaka Koluba. Anything people are proud of them. Then you say, Yaka, the way you not do, tell the country, they corrupt. You say you're going to talk corruption for the country. Now you're calling them more corrupt for me. People are dying every day.
He said the president government is the most corrupt on this.
You shot me for that for Yaka Koluba. I'm not Yaka Koluba, I'm not talking. Then you forget for Yaka Koluba. Now I want to look at my day and send you for Yaka Koluba. Then you forget for Yaka Koluba. Anything I do for me, my people for the other person. Then you leave Yaka Koluba. We don't know what they will know you. Our sister will go take the Yaka Koluba from them. Now you know what. They are not doing Yaka Koluba in our house.
Okay. All right, we're coming to anything you want to say for now before we leave you. Thank you so much.
Yes, we are best. You know, see, because some of us are going to say, one corner, they do our own of it. And they tell the other people, they tell the one people, they pull out advance. You can't continue for it. Tell him to forget about your camp on it.
Hello. Yeah, we're
I'm sorry you made mistake. I heard you last night. We are going indeed to move over. Absolutely, after the whole election, at in my corner. If you hear my preaching, you know, suddenly you will conclude that I'm right. Will you rescue as a nomenclature after winning? The workers, I don't even answer my phone, they don't pick me up, they don't let me down, they don't even have time. I don't talk because God knows what is happening. And everything I will accept it because our son, who is vice president to him from Minda, the Minda people will not understand if I start hating on Brecker. The Senate got a trap for Brecker. When we have vote, the Senate himself the put. And the position statement for those commissioners will be further from Bedia to here. They said the way forward. When Brecker come now, they not there, won't be there, and you now where you just thinking all kind of way Brecker, all kind of thing. You want to go after people? Then, you know the city take control of the governor in your So they went back away, someone of city for the team, they did a position. When they send it to the Senate, well, something happens. All of them almost went to the Yomi house. Then they got it back to the money. They didn't tell me they had it for me.
Oh, where they were coming, they said they
I heard what was happening. There were two communities that were being rebellious. But what I want to do, I know what is going on. You were here when we were people, and you were here with our own election, and we send the report with all documents, legal documents, to be then but that's not it.
Freedom fighter, you destroy now. It's a dysfunctional job. Led by people who are part of this life which we created, life which we are sucking the life out of now. We will suck the life out of you. Not the wind out of your sail. The wind will blow in your sail. What take about? How dare you call us insignificant when you were in political nobody after 2017 and we resurrected that dead political collapse of yours. You saw us in Christ during the where are you? We did. Fundamentally, the issues about which we disagree with us, we are still issues that we're concerned about. But we're not here to give you power so that you turn it over to Jeremiah King, Prince Johnson, Jackals, which is the president. It is his right to run the president. But to hide behind you. He and his warlord is mass murdering, deranged, unstable warlord. We're not going to give the country to a warlord. Everybody used Prince Johnson in this country. Ellen used to come to power. Just we are used him too. But now everyone coming to this house. Let me milk the man. He said, Henry, can you get like that you already my dependable nephew? Do you think you can get Alex to donate $300,000? Freedom when they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they killed their time.
A great way. I would like to welcome and begin the conversation right here on Freedom 87.9. A pleasant opportunity it feels to be here behind these microphones to engage on the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. The freedom fighters, when it became the time, they're raping our women, stealing our resources. Oh yes, indeed. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, just wherever you are this morning on our voice. A pleasant welcome to the Tuesday morning edition of the nation's premier breakfast platform, widely listened to the People Station right here. Good morning to our friends, our followers, and those of you in the diaspora. It's good to have you join us as always for breakfast. There are too many things to talk about, lots of things happening in the country. And yes, indeed, this is where, and of course, the perfect opportunity to bring sense to these conversations right here on Freedom FM, the People Radio, the Omar and Papi Dem station, all across the country. Grand Jida, Sano, River Sass, River G, Grand Coup County, Grand Bassa County, Bapolu Bomi, Grand Cape Mount Nimba, Bong Mangiri. Welcome and welcome. This morning, promises to be a very, 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 very fiery conversation. And of course, the lineup is so intriguing. You don't want to go anywhere. Stick and stay right here. We have a sumptuous breakfast for you this morning. As we're picking back on the shooting incident in Congo Town. Of one Matthew, I believe to be a madman that got shot by the Liberian National Police, and of course, so we basically want to look at the account of the police, which we talk about, versus new revelations. I know you all have been out there seeing new videos, thereby presenting a whole new narrative to what the police actually painted. Liberians are talking about as to why the Liberian National Police will provide a picture of situations, crime situations, that is completely different from the actual situation. What does that leave the integrity of the Liberian National Police? Pundits are asking. The CDC, the global headquarters groundbreaking ceremony, and our supporters, our followers, our listeners, bulk of whom are sympathizers and partisans of the CDC, we are under moral obligation to provide for them all of the insights as it relates to the CDC party headquarters groundbreaking. There is a deliberate propaganda out there to deny sedition from turning out, and that's how they are already telling you that, of course, the property there, the Chinese people will put one of the overpass pillow there, blah blah blah, so you feel weak, you're not come. But this morning, look, come outside like mission ends. Come outside, just wherever you are. Let the world know your side and where you stand. Plus other issues making news in Liberia. And of course, the president visited Togo. He made some statements, sounded about reconciliation and peace. And you be like, are you kidding me? So we're going to do a brief comparative analysis of the president's comments in Togo to what is the reality in Liberia. A very man that cannot ignite reconciliation and unity in Liberia mounts podium and issues a statement that are completely contrary from the realities in Liberia, as many have seen and of course describe the president's presentation in Togo. It might have sounded beautiful. Indeed, probably it's not the right man for the message owing to what is happening in Liberia. The big one comes up at 9 o'clock as we play host to
I'm a freedom fighter. I'm a freedom fighter.
As we play host to Mr. Benedict Koluba, former assistant minister at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. Koluba, of course, will be our guest at 9 o'clock. for a panoramic review of critical issues affecting the Liberian economy, its health and condition. Are Liberians living a more improved life today? Is the path truly showing the path that Liberians have pursued? Is it truly showing of a glorious future? Looking at the economic policies and programs, Mr. Kaloba will be our prime guest at 9 o'clock this morning for a 1 hour long of incisive conversations on critical national and economic issues. Until that time, my name is Abu, and of course, as always, Higa Gonda is here. Higa, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning to you, and good morning to everyone following us this morning. Grateful to be back here this morning. Like we started on yesterday, we've come to continue just from where we stopped this time with other trending national issues. As part of our commitment, always we are here to demystify some of the lies that is being told by hierarchy within the government. And I like it the way the CDC hierarchies, or I should say supporters from the CDC, are taking this challenge up now. Gone are those days when people will just sit and see things and thinking that there will be no one else to checkmate they are seeing and actions and all of that. But I like it the way things have started. Intellectually, we are going to be here to demystify many of those things that will be said. And radically, when we come up, I like it the way it started. You know what I'm talking about, but that's why it is. So we are grateful to be right back here. Somebody say I'm still living my celebrity life. Just so you know why you are on the show, there was somebody who here came, they want to take a picture of me. For the first time, in fact, Gerard has become the first person to shake my hand, saying I shook Ebuka Obi, and yes, Abu did not tap in that grace.
Man, celebrity. About time.
But we are here this morning, so it's great being here. So we are grateful to be here. And like we said, today is Tuesday. I was still giving a bag of rice and 5,000 Liberian dollars this morning.
Yes.
So since today is Tuesday, for 50 Liberian dollars, you just pick up your Lone Star MTN mobile money phone. For just 50 LD or 25 cents USD, you dial star 255 star 1 hash, star 255 star 1 hash, or if you're using the smartphone, you dial star 255 star 1 hash, and for just $50 or 25 cents USD, you stand a chance to win instant cash prize of 5,000 up to 10,000 here. So between 5 to 10,000, you could win it as part of the prize here. Then the bonus to that is a bag of 25 kg rice. So let's see how many times you play. The time is 4 minutes up to 8 o'clock at 8:15, at 8:10, 8:15, at least 8:15. Let's do a draw here this morning. So it's up to you. Pick up your Lone Star MTN mobile money phone now, and that star 255 star 1 hash if you're using the small button phone, or star 255 star 1 hash. Let's go. Do our
they both can use the
same code now.
Yeah, the same code, the single hash. No too much complexity.
Yeah,
and that is it. Okay, so let's take a break. We'll Crime Stopper. When we come back at 8 o'clock, we begin the firework. This break. We'll be right back.
It's about musical. There are crowds in many places. In every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. But it can't take your leg. Crime Stopper here for us. Bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a human talking, I mean you check. You wait for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. I'm about to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it before them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it for all.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self-owner, Homer Sensaya.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it for all. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it crime for all.
Professionals to fix your car, or do you need an original spare parts for your vehicle? Well, worry no more. Macabre Garage and Spare Parts on the bypass opposite Orange Head Office is that place. At Macabre, we provide the following services: mechanical, technical work, computer diagnosis and scanning, key duplication and programming, air conditioning, alarm system, and body wagon spray. We also sell genuine and generic spare parts for Range Rover, Mercedes-Benz, Suzuki, Chevrolet Tahoe, Nissan and Mazda, and most American cars. The good news is that Macabre has its garage in the Bronx, New York, the USA, where we have a huge stockpile of Ford synthetic mobile oil that is very good for your vehicles. Some of these oil, when used, can service your vehicle by itself for up to 4 to 6 months. We have gas treatment and fuel injector cleaner, original from the USA. We can get you any spare part for your car in Liberia from America in 4 working days, even if we are not the one working on your car. We also order spare parts for other garages in Liberia. We have a tow truck service. Get in touch with us. Just call 0778-324-567, 0778-320-366, or 0778-324-566. Macabre Garage and Spare Parts, Liberia's #1.
So I say me that you there, so I don't go feel. You call me J-Body Prophet, my love, the thing you get out here, I want. Call me Otoku, my happy, my chosen one. If them try you come on fire, now you the top my wire. Oh my baby, hit the mother. I see the way you want your waist. You make it big man, go best. You don't under my deal. Oh baby, you not for my booty. You don't under my deal. Oh baby, you're not for my booty. Stashy or Gucci, baby, tell me how we party. For this I love, I'm ready to let out my life. And let me to carry a logo. See my friend, you're calling me to move my logo. If I give you a property, I want you to post some photo.
Okay, library music to the war. This is J-Boy the Prophet. And the artists of today are doing very well. A lot of improvements. Kudos to all of them. The producer, the engineer, the artists themselves, for the commitment to Liberian music. Let's bring this one down. This is Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9, and of course, so this is where we are, of course. And welcome back. Continue to play your cash giveaway today. We have a lot of money to win. And guess what? These days when you're winning, you're not only winning the race, you're winning also. You're also winning what you might call it.
You win. You say you win you win your 5,000, which is the regular price, Abu. Your regular 5,000, or maybe 6,000, 7,005. Then in addition to that, you can win a 25 kg bag of rice right here. So it's up to you. Like we said, we want to do a draw at least at 8:15. So it's 3 minutes past 8. For $50 Liberian dollars, you dial *255*1# or *255*1#.
Good.
Then you go ahead. Let's move this.
So at 9 o'clock, don't forget. Remember the real discussions, the real conversation will start at 9 o'clock. The fireworks. So reserve a lot for that. But let's look at other issues that are actually, affecting the Liberian people. Concerns that are being raised across different quarters. Since the inception of this government, there's been an increase in this, I like to say displacement, or if you may, removal, or just, they're just, evicting people, right? So to speak. Irrespective. So the government itself is after people evicting them, and there are some other people who are laying claim to particular land mass, huge ones, that they will come, they will use the code system. In no time, they will go there without any adequate notice to inhabitants. They will just carry a bulldozer and remove the people. The latest is the Hotel Africa community there. And residents and citizens, I'm told, over 400 homes or even more, right, are complaining, and the size of the population is over 100 to 25 to 30,000 people that's going to be affected. Women and children, elderly, and of course, all are there. That's going to be affected. So the lawmaker representing the place have 2 hours ago wrote something, Hagar, and I want us to read. It says his thought, right? And this thing has been in the corridors. That's the hypocrisy I don't like about some of our leaders. It has been in the corridor. We've been talking about it. Remember, right here, we alarmed that, of course, the government of Liberia was planning to come for the folks at the Hotel Africa area there. And probably people felt it was just people in the hotel facility itself. No. The entire land space all around there, removing. Some people have built, nice home there. They're going to break everything down and all of that. So, but the most shocking thing about all of that was that we did not see here read any clear-cut plans as to relocation strategy from the government to the people. When the government is moving people, government has eminent domain to all of the lands and properties around here. But the eminent domain requires some responsibility on the part of the government to show up. The government must be able to move in and provide alternative shelter. Beyond that, right, it is also the government responsibility to ensure that our people are sleeping, on a roof.
Yeah.
So if you have a plan to remove the people, to evacuate the people from the Hotel Africa vicinity, one reasonably deduce that the government will have a plan, a strategy on relocation, identifying new places, and how the whole distribution will be. But this knee-jerk, way of just moving in on break the places, and they will do absolutely nothing but just for the hype. So most times since the inception of this government, Hagar, when they are not doing much and the criticism are so huge, they'll put yellow machines out. They'll go to particularly densely populated community and start to break structures, and the government come and develop development, and this is unacceptable. And we like to tell the president, Mr. President, you have demolished a lot of structures since you came to power, and we have not seen any modernization going on to these places. Neither have we seen any transformation going on. Where in Central Monrovia, there are several areas that Mo Ali and the Ministry of Public Works demolished. The boss people homes, right? Under the same development cliche, we did not see anything happen to these places. In fact, a lot of the drainages that the boss people property from over those places have turned to garbage site. People just putting dye there and it's clogging and the feces are there all over the street. So Bernard Blue Benson wrote, says, my thought, government must be more proactive in protecting their properties from any encroachment other than waiting on the last minute or after over 50 years as in recent situation. And trust me, as much as I empathize with the people, in the Broadway area there, but I will not countenance, legislative hypocrisy, where legislators who will be in the room and will hear these things and will, recommend or make and prefer no people-centered solution to central government, will wait for government to go and start to take action, and they want to see glory, the ally, the hero, they're talking for the people. That is nonsense, because these things don't fall from the blue. Take for example the 540 community behind EJS, or the entire chicken soup factory community. Those are 100% government-owned properties that have been paved, electrified with running water by the same government, and then in the end you ask them to move after you have made it their home after over 50 years, as in the case of chicken soup factory. Wrong, according to Bernard Benson. So Bernard Benson is saying, when squatters invade government properties and for as long as 50 years or whatever, it is wrong for government to go and reclaim. I don't know whether that his position is backed by law or he's just speaking sentimentally. We need to be clear about that, right? So when people are officials of government, we have to measure their comments. So go out those days where politicians will just be fooling people. We're not going to say that. So Blue should tell us what make it wrong, right? We could talk to the government on what the government can do, how the government can do it in ways that the impact on those families will not be so severe, by providing alternative shelter for them. But to say the idea of reclaiming government property for development or expansion or improvement, all these things is wrong. I mean, I think it's been political. I think it's been merely political and just to assert his base. And if the people are going to support him simply because of that, imagine this is a man that flipped from Funatikuva side to the other side. So Blue does not have a strong moral and stuff. I told you, I said all the people that disgrace themselves during that Funatikuva time, they myself will own it forever. Because anytime you come up, will go for you, will put your osa. You compromise this country here for your own belly and thing. You think we're joking, we're passing around, right? And you come here talking about, oh, it's wrong. What is wrong? What made it wrong? You are sitting in that place, right? You're illegally supporting people to remove speaker. They were planning to go for your resident in District 17. You thought you were basically passing around. From the DJ now go on the other side, DJ go on the other side. You're making fun.
And he himself was part of the fun.
He was part of it. And then you come here, you come lecture the people on, you twatting all kinds of things. You're not even providing facts.
And as a deception, Abu, the real thing is these people will go behind the scenes, see a different thing. When they come to the camera, they come to the microphones, they see a different thing. When they take to their Facebook accounts, they see a different thing. Blue cannot be pretending to be in the interest of those people today when he himself has been a part of conversations that led the government to where it is today.
Correct.
You want to say, oh,
you pump a government that flouts the law, disrespect the constitution and all of that. You supported and you lended your support.
When this thing, the fight is when this thing, the Hotel Africa residents, are they the first batch or group of people that are expected to be evicted by this government?
No. People were evicted.
There were people that have been evicted. Communities, government have taken talks. They've taken bulldozer to communities. Police have brutalized citizens in those communities. What have you said? Oh, it should happen to you because it is in your district. Then you feel you want to use that situation to gain political relevance when you've already sold out that relevance for your pocket or your belly.
Well, listen, yes, what happened, right? From the very get-go, probably when we were in there, they did all of the mapping and the marking. Blue, they not talk.
No.
Right? The people went and get a poll, the 18. We had to send journalists there and start raising the issue, the alarm before the government went back and extended the deadline.
All of the time you hear Blue speak, I follow bulk of his videos and things on that incident, on that situation, Abu. All of the times you hear Blue speak, Blue only interest is the government should compensate, the government should settle, because he believe when the money time comes, he will get something to pass here. So that he only interest. All the other thing, he's not interested in how it will take those, how long it will take those people to get somewhere there to go and prepare themselves and start to live there. He's not interested in that. His only interest is let's ensure that the government compensate you. Let's ensure the government provide something for you. That is interest.
Yeah,
that is terrible.
No man, so he said, finally concluded, say from what I'm seeing, it's better to put all these communities on notice. Don't wait for the last minute and shatter lives, as in the case of prefab community. That's, I think, the actual name of the community. Far for the community, free zone communities, from Freeport to Double Bridge. From Freeport to Double Bridge. I hope you copy. So you just say the free zone, all right? From Freeport to Double Bridge. But man, I don't know what we're talking about. So here's the thing. I think the best thing we can do to adapt the Zimane approach that John Colley did with the Fender eviction victims, right? To pressure the government to consider humanity and, of course, shoulder its responsibility to what? For alternative resettlement. These are Liberian citizens and they do not deserve to be out no matter what. In fact, I think Blue made a profound point there that these people went on the place and successive government were aware that they were there. What notice? Sometimes too, people are notified that government property will go. Oh yeah, would there be a government?
They can do it respectfully.
Government not ready. These things can work in other countries. Let's be fair. These things can work in other countries, but it has happened at the end of the day, humanity. But the politicians will go there, they will do politics and all of that. At the end of the day, it will be the way it will be. We saw how Tomo Fala succeeded in preventing government eviction of the 72nd residents. And, every time there was an attempt, he played politics and he succeeded until he moved to Foya. But trust me now, if there's an attempt to remove people from 72nd, Tomo Fala will not say ping.
No.
You will not say, in fact, you'll be on the floor. Oh, yeah, the military need to have its own.
That's the deception. That's the deception we're speaking about here, bro.
Correct.
The guys will only speak when it is in their interest. We saw Representative Elo Papi Flomo speaking when they wanted to evade when that entire thing started in his district. So other lawmakers, you hear them speak only when it is in their interest. They've not come together to take concerted efforts, or they've not come together to speak as a body against or for what the government is doing. But they will sit, and then lawmakers will be speaking individually. Now it is in Blue district. Blue is the one speaking. When you go in another person's district, I know that lawmaker will be speaking. What is that?
And that is it. So these things we need to be clear. Let's take the hypocrisy from our advocacy and let the true advocates lead, and, the people-centered conversations around responsible advocacy, meaningful advocacy that help all of that. Because once politician gets in, and then it becomes a problem, and then everything is scattered and is seen from a political lens and all of those things. We don't want these things happening with our issues. So let's remember that as we are going through our struggles and, of course, our challenges, there is a secret $10 million villa being constructed in Foya, Lofa County, to whom not much has been said about its ownership and, of course, the processes by which the property is being constructed there in Lofa County. It's important for us to know. Except that recently we heard in some corners that the government of Liberia was seemingly taking responsibility for the constructions in Foya. As media sources quote the presidential spokesperson Kula Fofana as saying that the property in Foya is a government of Liberia property, and it will be used by successive presidents and all of that. But many critical voices have also said, look, just by that admittance or even announcing at this point that it is a government of Liberia project does not answer the questions of accountability, transparency, and fairness, as the laws are clear on how these projects are supposed to be, done. You can wake up one morning and citizens start to see massive construction going on, and then speculations are in the air about the cost and ownership of those properties or these properties and these constructions. And then to a point where one of the senior officials of the government, senior spokesperson of the government in Mapikin, Daniel Sano, come out and lied publicly on an international organization, a regional organization, lying on them, boldly lying that indeed the property as being constructed in Foya was owned by the Manoroa Union. Only for the Manoroa Union to come and debunk the diabolical lies told by the government of Liberia through its Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs, embarrassing the country, embarrassing the government, embarrassing every citizen for an irresponsible PR blunder. So when all of these things happen, before then, you can have members from the office of the president come on, but before Kula even spoke, a civil society actor had to come again to say, look, the media has been saying this and nobody is paying attention for whatever reason we don't know. But you know what, let's use our platform. So Eddie Jawolo came out and said, look, we are observing something in the village. And that thing is, and our investigation has also established that there is a $10 million property in the heart of the Foya forest, believed to be a presidential villa. And now much has been here from the government. Nobody's talking about it. In fact, ministers and directors and commissioners and all of that of the government, some of them were not even in the know. They doubted when we said these things. They doubted and said those were untrue. Only in the last minute for the government to say through Kula Fofana that, oh, it is a presidential, it is a government project. It is a government project, and that all president after President Boakai we use the project. And you understand? So now, how was the project awarded? What is the cost of the project? What is the cost of the project? The government needs to answer. How did Moba, say Paul Moba, right? How did Paul Moba and his company won the contract? How fair was it? How open was it? What role did PPCC play? Mr. Scott Johnson, yesterday we were talking about you and how you have desecrated through an act or your desire to be accommodated and protected because you're trying to protect the job, you're flouting the laws and undermining the ethics of your office. So we're asking you, the government have said that they are doing project in Foya. What role did the PPCC play? All of those also point to the fact that the government has been acting and continues to act illegally, flouting the laws and abusing and misusing public resources at its discretion, exclusive discretion, without regards to the laws and the procedures and all of that, without any commitment to public accountability and, of course, public information on these things. These are troubling reality. You can't be running the country like that and you think things are okay. Many Liberians are still doubtful and questioning because the president has to take ownership. The president has to take ownership of the property. The president has to take ownership and say, oh yes, this is the project being in Fuya, you know, and stuff. Do it, and then we ask the hard questions. You answer the questions.
But in fact, they had to lie that it was an MRU project.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah. So the government,
the MRU issued a statement. You saw that, right?
Yeah,
the government.
The government is not even mustering the courage to speak the fight to the Liberian people. You don't want to take responsibility of a project that Liberians should be proud of. That their government is undertaking, because when the government is able to explain to the people the importance of that project, the Liberian people themselves will be happy that such a project is being undertaken by a government that they elected. But apparently, because the government is embarrassed, the government understands that there is no better explanation of why a $10 million villa should be built in a village or in a forest. So the government just embarrassed. They don't even know what to say. They had to stick your MRU. MRU had to come back to defend themselves. And that is why it is. So how can a responsible government that they are trying to claim the Nukar new headquarters? They are proud of the Nukar new headquarters, but they are not proud to speak about the project that they themselves that maybe that could be the first serious signature project of the government. But the government itself is disappointed, or maybe they are afraid to even attach their own name to their own signature project. What is that? Is there any other internal motive that this government is not coming to tell the Liberian people, as we are hearing today again, that similar project is being kickstarted in Nimba Interpreter? Where are we? Oh, we should go again and start to push forward, and then tomorrow the government will come and say that another MRU project in Interpreter. That is deception, and you can't continue to play deceptive politics. You did all of these things when you were in opposition, and Liberians listened to you because there were challenges that they saw, that they felt like, oh, what you were saying. Look I said this the last time. You brought out fake documents. You used to go to World Trade Center, make your own fake documents, put it out in the public, make it appear like, oh, that government doing all of these things.
Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why.
That's the reason why today you had to close the area there, because you feel what you did. You don't want. You feel others will go there and do it. Why the government is being so insincere to itself? You got 6 years to govern. 6 whole years you got to govern. You are not using that 6 years to govern. You are not doing it. You've gone nearly 2 years now. And all of what we've seen are propaganda, insults. Is that how a responsible government should speak or behave? Then the president will leave from here and go sit down in another country and talk about reconciliation and talk about peace and security when the country itself that he's leading is not secure? Look at what is happening. Look at mob justice taking over all in the various communities. People are going against the other day, Abu. The young guys they took from the streets that they carry in Johnsonville, the guys got ready for them in a few days. There was a serious tension over there. Serious one, I mean, in Johnsonville. All of these things are happening.
So, Liberians, the ball is in your court. The monies we're talking about are your tax dollars. I saw on video people of Yekepa were jubilating that the government of Liberia sent full pickups, right, to the Tapita hospital, the Jackson F. hospital there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you see, this is the mark of poverty. This is a mark of keeping people, minds buried in mediocrity, and that's what happened. You see, the government succeed in making it to look like delivering on their responsibility is a favor they're doing for the people, and the people got to line the street and be clapping. Things that these are supposed to be regular things that must happen annually, because we're paying our taxes, we're contributing our tax dollars and all of that. And all we see is the president continue to fly private jet, unabated, expensive private jet, embarking on fruitless. So the Togo trip completes 19 official presidential travel where the president has brought in nothing, zero. I mean, we challenge you to tell us what the president has brought from where. So this is it. How can you be celebrating? And we would like to tell all of our folks in Nimba. I know you all might have done that out of ignorance or in desperation for the fact that you have a system and then there is no car for so long. The government lied, they can't even supply. People been dying, and so you might have celebrated, but not to celebrate that Bwaka has done anything. In fact, that is a mark of failure. Bwaka failed. Do you know from January 2024 to now how many million Bwaka and his children have suffered from this country and put in secret accounts and manipulating contracts and all these things around here? So how can they be getting richer and then our hospitals are getting poorer and lacking supplies and equipment to a point where we'll be celebrating full pickup? Liberians need to wake up. Wake up from your slumber and wake up from mediocrity. Demand adequacy. Demand what is rightfully yours. Stand up. Politicians must not dictate to us what we can get. No, the laws are clear, right? You can take about 80 to 90% of our tax dollars and use it on yourself as politicians, and you expect us to be happy and celebrating. You are creating new entities and new institutions when there are budgetary constraints and revenue challenges. What kind of sound administration is that, right? You're creating the tourism commission, and you take a young lady who I'm told has got no experience whatever, right? Christopher Hayes Onanuga, right? Manipulated and influenced the appointment of a young lady who I'm told contested in one of the Miss Liberia that he organized. We're getting the details on that. You, Mr. President, you need to understand when people send you lists and names of people to appoint, the last time you called the Deputy Minister for Tourism in your office to meet her one-on-one, what Chris Onanuga went to do in that meeting? What Christopher Onanuga went to do? Why, Mr. President, you can't take charge and be in charge? These boys will be using you and manipulating you and imposing themselves in places. How dare anyone, the president, say, I want to meet this person, and then you go there, you must be in that meeting, right? Chris, for what? What authority do you have? So because all of you put small money together to campaign for Bwaka, and then you will disrespect our presidency, oh yeah, let me talk for Bwaka small, right? That is nonsense. Who does that? We're talking about the Liberian presidency here. And any Tom, Dick, Harry can just wake up from somewhere thinking that, oh, during the campaign, we don't want to put this small money, and you say, we must be there. And you're controlling, ruling everything. You take an incompetent, ignorant, has zero administrative background, and poor Emilio as Director General of the Tourism Commission. Can you imagine what we're going to get? Again, they're going to squander that sector. You have the squanderer in chief, and you go there. Then the protocol telling him that, oh, Mr. President, you want to know all of these things. Protocol telling, oh, Mr. President, Chris, Ambassador Chris is here, and he don't want to leave the meeting. Say, oh, you know the people, and he tell them, say the man can, they will stay, can, they will be there. Eh? What kind of thing is that? How you running a country that's on Boy Scout? Boy Scout is even more organized, yeah, than what you guys are doing. Can you imagine? And this is how you see all they can help you on all the trip. Because you say you will get control when you say the president might not be the president, will put say that.
Yeah, before you come, everybody on the plane.
And I had a list. In fact, the travel list he does not even determine. And that's how the people can make the list. Look at what happened. That diaspora conference again. They take all their relatives, concubines and team, and put them on it. Government pay the money. They went there. Another group went for the UNGA. Another group. Now small money was spent for that two thing. Almost or a little over 500,000 to cover that whole thing. Then you go send 4 pickup to Jackson F. Then you say the people must be celebrating. You not do what thing you not do? That over 400,000 to 500,000 you wasted on those trips. Do you know how many pickups it will get?
And Abu, that's one of the terrible things in our country. Liberians have not come to realize that what they receive from national government is chicken change of what the government steals. So you has corrupted and steal up to $1 million. We'll look at
all the government.
We'll look at something like 10,000 LD or 10,000 US and just change it to Liberty, make it sound heavy, and then carry the community. You see them killing themselves for it.
Yeah,
that's a terrible thing. How much you think those buses cost? When the president is building, I listened to a local radio news this morning while on my way to town, where the citizens of Lofa are crying on the issue of deployable rules. They are begging the government to ensure that the government can fix the rule. No, the president is not interested in fixing the rule. The president is interested in building 10 million villas in Lofa County, when the county itself doesn't even have the better road to go there. You see where we are? That because that villas is his personal benefit. You think he care about how your goods can live from before you have to come to Monrovia? He care about that. You think Braga really care? No. Braga is interested. Braga got place in Bombay County. Braga feels comfortable. Once he's on his car, he can drive easily to Bombay County. He feels comfortable. He care about how your market is supposed to live from Bapolu to come to Bombay, from Bombay to Monrovia. No, that's not his interest. But I say that you're cussing people for them. You don't even know what the country is going through. Many of you don't even read. You don't even follow information. You don't even do fast finding for yourself. You just hear things as gossip and run with it.
So it is actually disheartening, and the hypocrisy in this country is so very alarming and annoying. The point where, and this is how it is, right? And I like what this guy wrote, one to tier 1 to, and I find it very, very important that we share. And this one-sided morality thing. So, want to say that there is a terrible culture taking root in our society. It promotes and celebrates everything unorthodox and nonsensical when directed at the CDC. Yet, when there is an equal or rightful response, suddenly the nation erupts and lectures on morality, ethics, and civility. This selective outrage is hypocrisy at its finest. Today, I watched a young man publicly mock the CDC beret, a symbol of our history, talking about them now, right? Struggle and collective pride. For the government and everyone who opposes CDC, this sort of disrespect is entertainment. But the moment a sedition responds, they cry foul. We are called uneducated when we choose silence, and when we respond intelligently, they accuse us of showing off our education. Such foolish double standards reveal a fear of what we truly are: disciplined, determined, and unapologetically proud of our identity. Then there are those who wake up daily seeking fame by dragging the name of former President Weah into filth. A young lady has spent years doing this, turning personal scandal into cheap popularity. Whether her stories are true or false, they have earned her clicks, comments, and fleeting attention, but cost her dignity. When sedition responds in equal measure, suddenly she becomes the victim, hiding behind pity and claims of harassment. It is ridiculous, and I refuse to pity anyone who builds relevance through disrespect. Their logic is as twisted as it is predictable. They can insult, provoke, and demean with no consequence, yet demand sympathy and moral authority the moment they are challenged. They want the freedom to attack, but not the courage to face a response. They preach democracy, but panic when others exercise their voice. It is their warped reasoning that has emboldened a culture of disrespect while branding seditions as aggressors for simply speaking up. Let me be clear, seditions, do not be silent, quiet, or intimidated. Speak boldly. Defend your party, your values, and your leader without shame. Do not let anyone define your your intellect or dignity. We owe no one silence while lies are being celebrated as truth. We must do better, not by shrinking, but by standing firm, intelligent, and resolute. Because while others seek attention through chaos, our purpose is to rebuild through conviction, truth, and courage. And this is indeed the fight. And the same thing applies. And this is how the society is, right? And I'm seeing a colleague of ours who once upon a time used his media platform and invited people. They sat down there, right? Insulted AB and myself for 2 long hours. And he felt that was okay because they were supporting Bouakar's presidency, and he felt it was justified to invite his colleagues to sit down on the platform, which I have a recording. They insulted us, and people were calling us from all over the place. Say, "Oh my man," and I'm seeing that same individual, writing and talking about PUL, you know, and I'm like, what is this double standard coming from? Eh? But anyway, hey guys, we've said a lot. Let's take course and then we prepare for
Benedict, who is already here.
But keep playing.
Yeah,
right?
continue to play.
255 *1#.
And we could do double draws. That is if we can reach the threshold *255 *1#, just for $50 Liberian dollars or 25 cents. You stand a chance right here to win for yourself 5,000 Liberian dollars or more, plus a bag of 25 kg rice. Let's be calls on 0776 104 104 0776 104 104 or 086 500 104 086 500 104. The stage is set or is in place for the groundbreaking of the CDC. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
You live? Go ahead.
Yeah. Abu, but today reach me. I want to read my number to you to give you more update when it relates to the project of Poya. From Poya, I live there.
Okay, give me read the number.
So maybe you have text the number today. So instead, just text the number. Maybe somebody could know him from his number. Somebody could know when they take down the number.
Yeah, you can email me to get it all.
Yeah, just send message to this number. Send your number to this number as text.
On the number, right?
Yeah.
All right, I was sending on the orange because I don't have that 30, so I was sending on the orange.
All right, 0776 104 104 086 500 104. All right, the numbers you can call us on here this morning and be a part of the conversation here, and also continue to play your cash giveaway. 0776 104 104 086 500 104. I will wait to take calls.
Yeah, *255 *1#. *255 *1#. These are the issues, folks. And no matter how you do it, no matter how you put it, for this country to change, it's for people to develop the courage to be fair, to be sincere, and to be objective. You see, morality is not one-sided, and morality does not only apply only dealing with a particular situation, and that's how the folks seem to make it look like in Liberia. And that is the point of annoyance for people like us who believe in equity. So let me take this person and then we'll come back.
Hello.
Morning.
Yeah, I was speaking.
Morning.
Yeah, morning.
You're on the radio.
Yeah, but I'm playing that but the president says.
The president sent text?
Yeah, in your phone.
All right, send your phone on text by 0776 104 104 086 500 104 are the numbers to call, and let's hear what's your thought on some of those issues while we prepare to host Mr. Benedict Koluba, who's going to take us through the punchy economic issues right here on the show this morning for I think the very first time, right? I'm quite sure, but when Benedict comes, he'll say, I'm sure with us, probably he have had some appearances here before. So that is that. So that where the society make it seem like, you know, this person is right simply because what the wrong thing that they are doing is directed at this individual. So it's okay. But the moment the same standard or the same action is directed at another individual that's in their class and cycle, then it's wrong. The very same people that we saw hyping the life of Prophet Key, Henry Costa, and others in this town who chose to ignore intellectual issue-based discourses to rather focus on trivial, personalized conversations. They celebrated and hyped them and even supported them. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Abu.
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, this is Lashmi calling from Bobby Modogon. I just want your line and I just send the show here.
Okay.
This is the best crossing, the best crossing is like a PHO. No crossing here, or La Pazella, the complete nothing on your chain because someone else who want your tree. But you're looking at you're the platform all of the insulting and all of the day. But because of that, you're good, I'm making you can always stop off from crossing, but you are our one. And then banana, that's not crossing in the country. But because of the tree, and God will bless you. You're taking the blessing, you're put out for a big day like, oh, go to an okay last way. Every day will be cutting. You will get a long term blessing or plan. Or you better be taking a sweat.
I know. Thank you very kindly. See, Liberians are our witness, right? You will just get angry and subject other people to insult and call them demeaning names and what have you, and you feel comfortable simply because they associate with a political movement or they support a political movement. They are a member of a political movement, and that culture has to stop. And our moral voices will have to be fair and objective and say it. Look, if you really sit down and look at this thing, right, it is the Unity Party supporters that are very intolerant, very demeaning in their approach and address of people who are supporters of Mr. Weah and the CDC. They do not engage in civilized conversations. None at all. Right? They will call you names. They will
because you are a supporter, or they believe you are a supporter of George Weah.
And this is the fact. In some quarters, the moment you say you are a member of the CDC or you are a supporter of CDC, right? They start to address you in condescending manner. Or now they stupid people, right? So how do you feel referring to a whole organization of people where you have people with doctorate degree, masters upon masters, very intelligent people, smart, well-educated people, but because of because of whatever you think, the stereotype you have, and you feel comfortable calling them names. But then, when you are responded to in the CV, then you say, oh, the people who they're doing this, they're doing that. That is hypocritical, and that's what people are saying. So we must cleanse our culture. We must cleanse our politics. The likes of Yombly and others should not tolerate people working with them, working in their offices, using their social media platform that they are following to insult other leaders. And they don't say nothing. They don't call them to order. Right? When you take Prophet Key and put him on your national campaign, you give Prophet Key privileges in this town. Even private people that he have insulted, they want to take legal issue with him. You stop them. So what are you saying? But when you find somebody else that directs similar energy to you, then you say everybody should start crying for you. Everybody should say, so are you better than the other people that your stooges can be insulting? And you rather say, oh, there's that. Look, we challenge any of you to prove where we use our platform to be using profanity or inventive.
So when I say that again, in fact, listen to one of the callers who said we've been preventing that.
But go listen to other shows. And
let's talk to this person. Good morning. They like it when they are insulting Joshua. Okay, this person slipped off the line. So like we said, we want to do double draws here before we pick up our guest. So you still have the opportunity to play *255*1# for just $50 Liberian or 25 cents. You could win 5,000 or more than that here as cash prize, and as bonus, you could also win for yourself a bag of 25 kg rice. So that line is single win.
Say the name. The
network is something. Yeah, it's like Orange Network is giving.
So the name of the company constructing the secret villa in Foya. No, Foya is Monson Group of Companies.
Okay, let's talk to this person. Monson Group of Companies is the one constructing the clandestine villas there. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Go ahead. Patient, go ahead.
Oh, this is insulting John we are. Today, they say what they around. Then they say that insult is bad in your country. Abu, you kidding me? They were pressing Yaka Koruba. When Yaka Koruba bought, they say, yeah, they make it touch you. He can touch you. Oh, they say what they around to me.
All right, thank you. *255*1#. Hello.
Hello.
You live? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You see your name is? Email. Go ahead.
Email. You guys, when you go to people in your group, you got people in the when there was nobody there, they were there. The problem to be insulting the president until Georgia Bush in power. So now the issue, for the issue, separation of African issue, separation of the issue with the money to the other people. I don't know. But see, the back, the whole thing, and now the people are so much put out and this platform is not about if it's also music, you see it, to be insulting.
All right. Thank you. Let's talk to this person from the international line. Good morning.
Yeah, welcome.
Go ahead, Chief. You're live.
Thank you for the program. Yeah, my first question I want to ask, for the president to say, about the people, why is rescue? And why is it that the win that should put them
Okay. All right, thank you. Let's talk to this person from this line. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
Man, you guys are being excellent this morning. Thank for what you always do for country. There is a bunch of business and I join from talking in the school. No, and I am able country is the nature of the people for the other side for the part. And all people who regard themselves as the so-called moralists in our society. How can you hold a common man out of just a high sinner? You say the Bible, who made so hard, and the people who are using the gospel to denigrate other people, you are not speaking against them. That was being given me. What was the guys who are still a war, woman missionary or woman prisoner into an insult machine?
Senator Johnson, right? Senator Johnson is a member of the Unity Party. He sat on national radio and declared national mark They didn't call him out. They didn't condemn somebody. They gave him job. The president rewarded him and made him liaison.
Oh yeah, and Abu, let me say this. Even insulting the former president has been one of the best masters for being qualified to work in the particular government.
Yeah.
Anybody who insults the past leadership or the president, you become the darling or you get jobs somewhere up to the white.
Thank you. Let's talk to David King. David, morning. David, are you there? Good morning.
Good morning, Ega.
You live? Go ahead.
Yeah, Ega, let God continue to bless you people. You know, the young people like you people are part of the temptation. I call it temptation. Because I know behind the scenes some of the things I can be fair to you guys. But because of the conviction and love for country, you continue to stay your ground. You know, when you listen to the lady crying, wolf, it's unlovable. These were people who were selling private key mobile money 10 ways. They were selling it to him. Only because they endorsed a constant insult against a sitting president as a winner. And they were copying. Look now we're here. What Julie Adi were insulted by Prophet Key when he did that.
So who takes responsibility for the ridicule and insult that was directed at former First Lady Judy Henry, Laura Fina-Bono, right? Josephine Davis?
Exactly.
Were those not women? They were insulted here and people clap.
Yeah. And the very Dominicana were sitting there laughing and drinking coffee. Alright?
She was sharing tea, giving tea to the lady. The very lady that's crying foul right now. Nobody will care in your living room and be on her giving her tea. Thank you. Let me hear who's in Kew. Who's in Kew. They were here and pampering and of course raising money and giving it to Prophet Key to cause other people. Who's in? Let's hear you.
Yes, so Abu, good morning, and let me say good morning to those following the show. This is Hussein Kew anyway. I call from Jacobstown. So, Abu, you know our tradition, our culture, more especially our religion, does not call for the respect to our elders. And some of us who from that background, we condemn the respect and not towards our leaders. Because we are young, but we ought to respect our leaders, and this is what our culture and our religion calls for. So those who did it in the past, we condemn it.
Okay, I know, but let me ask you, my brother. You are part of the people who are doing it in the past. Are you on record any day of condemning it? Did you call anybody out? Can you say that?
If you have some of your SSA from Fabric, you can play some. You know my days of our cases. Did
you ever condemn publicly or disagree with how you call Representative Yaka Koluba in time past?
Many days I'm on public record doing so. Abu, my man, let's talk about the politics.
No, not politics, because we need to start calling people. We need to start calling you out one because all of you are there clapping for. Start running your tradition thing. The tradition. You're staying in the tradition. You're standing there and justifying Yaka Koluba and others. You're insulting leaders here.
You know, people following the show, and our Islamic pledges are following the show. So if the name,
so that time our Islamic pledges were not following the show that time.
No, but Abu,
the time you were supporting Yaka Koluba, our Islamic pledges were
on a more serious note, Abu. For some of us, we not support
Yaka Koluba. Then were insulting around here. The chief
we call him Prophet Key. Prophet Key history, we call Prophet Key the Yaka Koluba and other folks who insult their leaders or insulting leaders, and those who even support them of insulting other leaders. That's what we call them. But I am not going to support them who insult their leaders. No.
All right, thank you. Thomas Sabo.
Yeah, Abu, good morning.
Morning, let's hear you.
And good morning to Ega.
Morning, Thomas.
Abu, your people of yesterday condemning are becoming moral forces today. It sounds laughable. When last people from the United Party ever condemned insult? I mean, Josephine David, Joy Howard Taylor, all these women in government were insulted yesterday. Yeah. Some of them were accused of laughing to officials of government. and not a single person
with family, and then you say things about them.
Even to the extent where party that chairman is a pastor, he never condemned that. But now they want us to come and start condemning any single person who just exercise their freedom of expression. Then they say we should speak to that. And now go, the woman is a protest, she's a Liberian lady. There are a lot of people that were Guinean ladies. They have a Guinean, they have myself,
the vice president,
the vice president. We drive to them from Kosovo, the time they were causing her. She's not from Baka, second country Kosovo, that she was receiving insult around here. So, Abu, let me conclude on this. Let me conclude on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Anybody moving forward, this war has already been declared. You insult George, we go for your man, we cause your boss man. If you're not going to know your man, we cause your boss man will put your money on us.
Let's talk to this person. We got the already here because it's good morning. Go ahead.
My brother. The president put that what was wasted TO and that woman myself in the same country, but she disgraced our country. She disgraced us. But my brother, one go around, come around. The other your people, the way to blood or start to say my man, the men are blood. I know probably there's anything now. Even a very job we are. Our incoming president again. He says put me power on. We say we politics on
so wow. So no Bobby Billy, no the fire for fire now. All right, thank you.
He left the line.
Yeah, so let's take this break, and then when we come back, we already have in the studio our guest, Mr. Benedict Koluba. But let's take this break, and we'll come back. We'll go into our conversation. This break, Crime Stopper Liberia. We'll be right back.
Crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't tell her in your hands, all the right authority, that they can't take your luggage. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door, whether you rich or you poor. If you see you not talking, I mean you check. Do it for your safety. If you see don't keep it. I'm a part of report. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's go for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's go for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self-omen, Omen Sensian.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's come down for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it crime for all of us.
Okay, thanks a lot, Crime Stopper Liberia. And of course, folks, welcome back to the final lap of the conversation right here on Freedom 87.9. So this is okay. This is okay. So let me bring it down a little bit. Yeah, if you can go without the microphone, no problem. All right. Okay. So we're good. Table we have Mr. Benedict Koluba. Chief, good morning, welcome. Is this your first time in our studio?
Yeah, good morning. This is my first time in the studio. In fact, I lost track of your studio.
Okay.
I think I remember visiting your place somewhere, Benson Street. I think I was
we used to be Benson Street.
Yes, well, I'm impressed with the work, particularly young people. You know, when you were talking to me, I thought it was another, older person. So,
well, don't mind, I'm an old man too.
Yeah. So I'm happy to be here, and then I will follow your show, and I think these are some of the things that I provoking some of us to always be on the radio or in the public space.
Mm-hmm.
So we restore sanity to our national discussions. We should be issue-based. We should not be insulting our leaders. We should not lie to the country. And so, yes, I'm happy to see all of you. And I hope we have a very, very great show. And let me say good morning to all our followers in the line of the radio, those who have supported the work that we do, those who will continue to support, those who continue to criticize us because we don't believe in their ideology. But again, it's part of the democracy that our great-grandparents fought for. Some of them died, and some of us live as refugees. We suffer mayhem just because of this kind of freedom that we all fought for. So I'm glad to be here.
Thanks a lot. Who is Benny Coluba?
Well, sometimes people don't know me, they mischaracterize me, but I come from Lofa.
Okay.
I was born in Kamruta. My mother is a Pele woman. My father is a Loma man, but I grew up with my mother. Went to all my traditional schools and got inculturated.
Okay.
Went to Blair Elementary and Junior High School.
Okay, traditional man.
Oh yes, I am. My name is not just Koluba, but I am a Koluba. So if you're from traditional home, you'll understand that. I live as a refugee for almost since 1990 to 1997. I live in Guinea as a refugee, and I know what I went through. I came back to the country, graduated from one of the best high school in the Republic of Liberia, Hayward Mission School,
Okay.
The Reverend Leo Masaboy Poku Simpson. I went to Zion University, graduated, did sociology and political science. I went to the University of Liberia, did peace and conflict studies at the master level. I went to the IMF, I did inclusive growth studies, and then came back, did some development work. Just completing another master in development management at the University of Turin in Italy.
Okay.
Of course, I worked as assistant minister for development planning, but before then, I was the founder and executive director for a local NGO since 2000 called LEAF, Lofa Education Record Foundation. Through that process, we supported the displaced, internally displaced process throughout this country emergency days. And I had some opportunity to do some consultancy with FAO and the rest around. So
you've been around?
Yeah, we've been around.
But not much has been heard of you.
Yeah, this is the irony about Liberian politics. If you are not insulting, if you're not causing somebody or you're not insulting the person.
No, you're not insulting them.
Yeah, so nobody knows you. And so yes, I can agree with you that a lot hasn't been heard about me because I've always worked from the back. I've always felt that, look.
Maybe you're comfortable then.
No,
and there's a degree of discomfort now, so you want to speak up.
No, not that. Here is it. When you, as a Christian, I follow some biblical principles. When there was Elijah, there wasn't an Elijah. So there's always dispensation in time. When there was Moses leading, there wasn't Joshua. So yes, we have leaders. Our party is compartmentalized, and then everybody has a role to play. At some point in time, you have to play the role.
You don't speak of your party. Which party do you belong to?
I'm a citizen. I'm a member of the
full-fledged
member of the Congress for Democratic Change.
Since when?
Well, since 2005. I was originally a member of the NPP when we had the merger. I joined the CC since 2005.
Okay.
I even contested on the party ticket in Lofa in 2011, district number 5. So I was the spokesperson for the campaign in Lofa. I work at different levels, but normally I like to work from the back and then let my leaders to shine. Most of the leaders, the work I was doing in Lofa, I cannot boast of myself, but those who were leading know that I was the technical behind 95% of the job that I was doing in Lofa.
Okay, so let's go. Even the one that brought Thomas Fala.
Oh yes, I fought, and we made sure. We made sure we had 30% of the legislative caucus being elected on the city ticket.
So you were active in the past.
More than active. We brought on Rufala. We took him to Lofa, that's a different story. We inculcated him to the Lofa culture to become representative. We elected. We tested. I was in the Jala. We elected in the Jala. I've been a forefront runner of Lofa politics. So all the representatives that were elected on the city ticket, they know it very, 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 very well.
The choir game. Yeah. Okay, so it's important. So we're gonna go into the nitty gritty of why we invited you to bring some sense to the economic issues in the country, and of course, but to do that, you serve and as a staunch member of the former ruling party, and being strategically situated at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. Tell us, how well did the CDC do, and how bad did the CDC do while serving the Liberian people? In 2023, she couldn't get, a second mandate.
Well, I think that is the basis for which you are hearing some of us speaking, because when we were running this country, we had the opportunity to serve. We have thought that, and we were wrong on this. We have thought that the work that we were doing was who has spoken for itself to the people.
Okay.
For example, it was physically clear that, President, we have built the road from Banga to Golu in Lofa County for the first time in the history of the two counties.
Mm-hmm.
Our assumption was that by paving the road to Lofa, the Lofa board themselves would see it and say, yes, this is true. But we realized that we were wrong. We needed to tell the story.
Mm.
That somebody in Grand will know that, yes, President, we have built a road to reach to Lofa. And so at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, we did a great job, but because of the lies and because we also didn't tell the story, so obviously we got defeated. And so on the basis of that, with some of us having access to data and information about the running of the country, we now feel it's imperative that we should not sit back. For example, when we took over, in 2018, the government of Liberia didn't have any structured national payroll system.
Okay.
There was a dangerous double payroll system, dual payroll system, that nobody could understand who makes what. So we have to bring in sanity to the payroll system.
How did you do that?
By collapsing everybody, and today, in all government ministry agencies, you take one of the payrolls, you will know how much the minister makes because we put the minister on the payroll of that entity.
How was it before?
Before then, nobody could see the appointed officials' payroll. The appointed officials' payroll was different. In fact, they were paid somewhere around the 10th, 15th of the month. And so those are the things we brought. We made sure that controller generals were not at the discretion of head of entities. We revised the PFN law and ensured that controller generals or controller in ministries and agencies were brought under the department of the Controller General of the Republic of Liberia, meaning they cannot be fired by their entity. They can be rotated by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. And so we ensure that people were uniquely identified on the payroll. We introduced a national biometric system on the payroll. We ensure that we reduce wastages on the payroll, on the government expenditure.
The national biometric on the payroll, what was the goal of that?
The goal of that was to uniquely identify people and remove postings on the payroll, because in the past, people were then paid through maybe bulk checks and by names.
Even though it was said that your government brought a lot of posts on the payroll.
Don't mind that. So those are the lies that were stated, and today we're here to defeat some of those things. So basically, this is how we ran the country. We laid the basis, we laid the foundation, because when we talk about the country, there was a huge problem. The problem was in twofold. One, there wasn't a system to account for government money, and then every money that the government was collecting was just going towards recurring expenditure. There wasn't space to do investment. And then if you run a country where you're only collecting the money, spending it on salaries, on on benefits of government officials. You don't invest in the government in the public sector with different programs. It is only the government employees that benefit, and this is what happening today. So we felt that with government leaving the space, the NGOs pulling up, the UN pulling up, now almost 95% of the projects that were done for the last 12 years of Mara Saleh regime were done by partners, only quick impact projects were not done from government money. So the government was basically focused on collecting the money, eating it.
Oh, you mean most of the
projects, quick impact project, the EU. So the government was not really spending on public sector investment.
So what were they doing?
They were just collecting the money, eating it. That's what led to harmonization. Harmonization was not about the staff salary.
What did you need as a government? What did you need the PSRP Act?
Well, for my analysis, PSRP was less than 75 million. And within the PSRP, it was just laundry list. And that's what I told people every time I speak on the radio. I don't know what time we have. I always said, even if 2029, the Liberian people will say, because President Weah did harmonization, they will not vote for him. I will be the only person that will vote for him because I believe in harmonization to the code of my professional life.
Harmonization is what got part of the people angry with the government. Because you're taking money from the people.
Because we allow the lies to go on harmonization without stating most of the benefits. For example,
but in actuality, where are you taking money from the people?
No, in harmonization, have we not done harmonization, right? For example, Dry Market or Johnson Bay Road have only had them paved. Now, government money. But there wasn't no space, so we created a space to do that. For example, almost 88 of those contracts, 32 of those contracts that the government is currently doing, it was done because we did harmonization. Have we not done harmonization? I don't know whether we have space to be able to start the pavement of the road from Ganta to Saklepe. We wouldn't have done that. So yes, harmonization was the greatest achievement we had. Was it perfect? Well, you can look at it from different angles, but yes. Even me as an assistant minister, I didn't want my salary to be reduced. But for the greater good of this country, we had to do that.
Another thing your ministry was whipped for was the mop-up exercise.
Well, that's a whole different ballgame. I like to talk about it differently, right?
Okay.
Mop-up exercise is a routine. It's how our country is.
An approach to whether it was discipline, whether it was effective, it was efficient. Your critics used it, to criticize and won a lot of people over from you and all of that. Do you regret it?
No, I don't regret any of our actions in the government because our actions were intended to put Liberia on a path of stability and create space that those who want the government peace, right? As it is, you have about 65,000-70,000 persons that takes pay every month from the government. On the average of dependency rate of 5 per person, if you take 5 times 70, you're talking about 5 times 7 is how much? 35? 350,000 people that benefit when the month ends. But you have about 5.2 million people.
Okay.
How do they benefit if you're not investing in different sectors? So basically those were it. But again, today we're here to be able to give the Liberian people of what is happening amidst all of those lies.
So before that, to kickstart now, why do you think would be the most justifiable reason for why this government are criticizing harmonization and other policy of the previous government has not undo the harmonization?
Well, first thing is that there's no way I go to any studio, I don't talk about harmonization. Because we got bidding on harmonization to the extent that the population believed the Union Party folks that by the time they win elections, harmonization will be erased. To the extent that the CSA, under this regime, have boasted of removing people from the payroll just to create space. And I've analyzed all of those things, they are lying. The government cannot revise harmonization because there isn't going to be space for the government to do any work. In fact, as it is, the government doesn't even have space to work. The only space the government has, in fact, that will be another discussion. The only space the government has to work is the road fund. And if you take a road fund projects, the government has almost just 35 million to work with.
You mean road funds contribution too?
No. If you move road fund contribution from projects, the government is able to 30 million to work with. The government has absolutely nothing to work with because they haven't been able to create space. They haven't been able to create a space for capital investment. That is the reason why the IMF program is here. When after the Great Depression, when the economy collapsed after the Great Depression, the world came together under the configuration of Specialized Agency of the United Nations, and we brought in what we call the IMF. The IMF has key mandates, and those mandates are to work with countries on macroeconomic stability. And then they have about 31 articles of the IMF. We call it the Articles of Agreement.
Okay.
In those Articles of Agreement, Article 4, many times you hear Article 4 mentioned. Article 4 is under which the IMF works with countries to analyze their macroeconomic situation and be able to advise them what to do. Under that advice, the country could choose, or the country could be advised to make use of what we call the IMF facilities or lending financing agreement. There are different programs of the IMF. The external credit facility is just one. And that external credit facility is not like the World Bank. The external credit facility is almost like you are all living in a village and decide to have a susu club, or in that susu club, everybody got a hand in the susu club. People can call it you got a hand. And when you have problems, the susu club come to your ear because you are a member, you are entitled to certain things. But because of your hand in a susu club, there's a limit of what they can give you.
Okay.
Because you are a member, there is a criteria that you either don't pay interest or your interest is different from other people who are not members. This is the elementary arrangement of the IMF.
Depending on the number of hands you have.
Depending on the number of hands, and they call it the quota within the IMF system. And so Liberia is a member of the IMF system since 1962. We've benefited from the IMF program. In 2019, we entered into the IMF program. Usually the program is for 40 months. 40 months because it's 4 years, 12 times 4 is 36. But the arrangement period and everything so they carry to 40 months.
Okay.
And this is one of the bases for which we're here. When people take to the radio and lie to the Liberian people that the IMF is praising Liberia without recognizing that Liberia is in the trouble according to the IMF report, that this is in disservice to our country. So we who know it, we have to come and explain to the Liberian people.
So let's pinpoint the troubles you think the IMF has acknowledged.
First, the IMF had a report after Liberia went through and signed the agreement with the IMF in 2024.
Which agreement was that?
The external credit facility.
Okay.
They did a review of that program, and there is what we call macro indicators. Some of the macro indicators they agreed with the government was that they were going to increase the surcharge on petroleum product to 20 cents. They said they were going to move from GST to VST. They were going to increase taxes, GST taxes.
Government agreed that with the IMF.
Agreed that with the IMF. In fact, I want to give you the report. I don't know whether we have a time for you to go through that report.
Please send it.
The IMF agreement, in fact, don't be surprised when taxes are increasing on the market, because this is why the government said that this is the only way they can find money to do projects in the country, because there is no money. They also agree with the IMF that they were going to take away what we call the duty-free privileges that we've given to concession companies.
Okay.
They're going to also take that from the legislature, and they want to raise millions of dollars from that. It's in the agreement.
They signed that in 2024.
They signed that in 2024. So in 2025, the IMF can review what the government has done.
In keeping with the agreement.
In keeping with the agreement. Do you have the 2025 report of the IMF?
Yes, I have a copy here.
So find that 2025 report. In that 2025, in the 2024 report, This is where the CSA is damaging this country, and we're still laughing. We're doing showmanship. The CSA reported angling number to the IMF that it took away 3,775 on page 10 of that report.
Okay.
From the payroll. But in the CSA's own report, the CSA said it removed 5,300 plus from the payroll as of October 2024. And so the CSA also reported to the president that she took away 6,844 people from the payroll. So you have three numbers now. So the IMF is not comfortable with the kind of reports that the CSA is making. Conflicting report. Besides that, the CSA told the IMF in that report that they were saving 2.5 million annually from the payroll. But in the CSA's own report, the CSA says it's saving $2.4 million every month from the payroll, which amount to $28.8 million. When you check the consolidated annual report of the 2024 budget, you don't find the payroll reducing. In fact, the payroll is already increasing up to $315 million, according to the midterm economic consolidated review published by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning.
Okay.
So these are the things that are hampering I want you to find that report, because that's what we're going to draw on to tell the Liberian people that we are in a deep trouble. The IMF report, I can share that with you. The second review report summarizes the trouble that lies ahead of our country. And I'm going to find that report.
Please send it to my WhatsApp.
The ECF 2024, ECF second review. Here we are. ECF first review, second review.
Okay.
So in that second review, you will see a list of macro indicators. In fact, to my understanding, this is the first time I see IMF review report.
Have you seen it?
I'm telling you immediately. It's listing macro indicators and trying to show the trend in the country in that summary.
Okay.
But because that summary is like, I told you I'm a Koluba, right? My name is not Koluba. I'm a Koluba, right?
Okay.
When the oracle comes to speak to town, and then as the Koluba who interprets what the oracle says to common man, because the common man don't understand what the oracle says, if the oracle is moving in the unusual way, then it gets the Koluba's worry. In the area of macroeconomics, the IMF is the oracle. If you see the IMF report, it's not very, very explicit and clear. You should be worried.
If you say it's not explicit and clear, what do you mean?
If you go to the IMF report,
executive board, you have the executive board assessment here.
Very fun. You have the IMF executive board assessment, right?
Yeah, the executive directors agreed with the trust of the staff appraiser. They commended the authorities for their efforts to preserve macroeconomic stability and welcome the broadly satisfactory performance under the ECF arrangement. That should be applause, right?
That's the opening sentence, right?
That's the opening sentence. Despite the improvement in the outlook, risks remain titled to the downside, including from the ongoing decline in external assistance and global economic uncertainty.
So the IMF says that they're telling the poor thank you, but growth remains down. You know why IMF said that? If you go down to that report, there are lists of macro indicators. IMF said you're working, but the rates remain so high because growth deteriorated. If the IMF laid basis and said there were 19 macro indicators.
Yeah, you have the output, you have the price,
this is
money and credit.
Because the IMF
public finances.
So out of the 19 indicators, they took the baseline from 2023.
Okay.
In 2024, they said growth dropped to 1.
In 2024, growth dropped.
2023, growth was 4.6.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, it came down to 4.
4.0.
4.0.
2025 back.
It's projected.
That's projected.
We're not even sure of what will happen. This is the crumbs of the matter. So then I saw the Minister Depuzo, who's supposed to.
But we're in October of 2025.
Yeah, so
they're projected.
They're trying to project because the year has to end before you already cumulatively understand whether they even met that growth target or not. So even if they met that growth target, it means that they are just fighting to go to 2023 status before they start doing the real arrest work. There are 19 macro indicators there.
Before they go back to where CDC left it.
Before they go back to where, because CDC left the economy at 4.6. CDC picked up the economy at 2.5 in 2017. Growth rate was at 2.5.
From the Unity
Party. We moved it to 4.6. Now, Unity Party is still therefore is fighting to go to 4.
And in 2024, they dropped it to 4.0.
To 4.0.
And it is projected that they could bring it back to 4.6.
So I brought this report for you to realize that because the caller that's supposed to properly understand the oracle don't understand the oracle, he is misinterpreting what the oracle says. The oracle is the IMF, and those who are supposed to interpret the oracle supposedly should be the Minister of Finance, and particularly the Economic Management Department, headed by Minister Depuzo.
So does the Minister of Finance or the Civil Service numbers disagree with it?
Completely disagree.
What did they say?
No, but you have the CSA report. I'm not sharing that with you. Oh no, the CSA reported that it saved $2.4 million every year from the payroll.
Okay.
2.4 million times 12, that's 28 million. It should have affected the 2025 budget in terms of salaries. Instead of salary dropping from 297, reduced by 228.8, it was increased to $315 million. In the consolidated May-year report from the Ministry of Finance website, Minister Gafan said, no, in fact, the 314 or 50 million wasn't enough for salary. He has to increase it to $360 million. So it means the CSA was completely a fiasco. It's a showmanship. And I've repeatedly said that the CSA will be the one that will dump this country.
This year?
This CSA will dump this country.
Why do you say?
Because the numbers they are giving to the IMF is different from the number they are giving to the president. It's different. It's not having effect on the budget. And so what they are going to do is the IMF is premising all the reports on reducing waste or reducing government payroll, and CSA is creating the impression that they're reducing government payroll, but in actuality, the Minister Gafan is saying, no, I'm not able to reduce the payroll. We'll keep increasing the payroll. They keep employing people in government. They keep bringing people on a different nomenclature. Some of them consultants, some of them technical focus person, some of them call them interim, and keep increasing the wage bill. Why am I talking about it? Because this is where you defeated us that no, we're just bringing people on the payroll, and we call it blocking the payroll, and they are blocking people. Who are you moving? You move citizens and bring other people. They are all Liberians. And so the IMF has made it very clear. I did a small scorecard. I did share that scorecard with you. The IMF I put it in a scorecard form for people to understand that
we are. I want to come back to the economic indicators. They're very interesting.
Yeah, they are the economic indicators. Yeah, all there, read one by one. So in 2024, out of the 19 indicators that IMF listed, the government did well on improve on 11 and drop down on 8 of those indicators.
Let's talk point by point. Let's talk about price. Price, for example.
You say point by point. Real GDP.
Real GDP growth. You talked about that, right?
They decline on that.
Nominal GDP.
Nominal GDP. So nominal GDP. That one. In fact, let me tell you about the nominal GDP. The GDP is about the entire transaction in the elementary way. All the money transactions that are going on in this country without considering inflation, including AstraZeneca, all the work that are going on. So GDP could be growing, but Liberians not benefiting from that GDP. And this is what happened to the economy. I thought this is what they want to address. How? Most of the goods that are produced here and exported, they are exported by companies. For example, gold and diamond, iron ore. They're not Liberian exporting iron ore. They're not Liberian exporting rubber.
So the growth is not in the direct Liberian.
It's not in the area where the Liberians can benefit. So yes, GDP is growing. It's nominal. Yes, on the numerical side, yes, there is an improvement on that.
Okay.
Inflation was, we left inflation at 10%. Inflation, according to the IMF in 2024, it came down to 8%. That's an improvement on that. Exchange rate was left at 174, according to the IMF, but 2024 ended with 191.3.
3.3 and 2025 projected 202.2.
So it's depreciation of the Liberian dollars. So those are the things that affect the daily life of the people, the exchange rate, and not the nominal GDP as a metal carrier.
We seen the central bank issue a statement that the Liberian dollar was appreciated.
Well, this is what the World Bank is telling them, and the World Bank wasn't reporting isolation. What the World Bank is saying is that at some point in time the rate will drop, at some point it will go up. When you put everything together, this is where the burden can be or the baseline is. So at that end point, the IMF tells you actually your depreciation rate was at this point. So yes, the rate is coming out is around 84 now, but it has been in 200, right? So when the year end, you take 202 and everything and combine and put it together, maybe you might end to 202 like the World Bank.
202. In 2023, they took it from 174.9. That was it in 2023.
In 2023.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, it depreciated. It depreciated all the way to 191. If you go on that line again, you see here, I didn't send you the metrics. I sent you the scorecard that we
Yeah,
through.
you did. You sent that.
So you realize that all over, our economy is depreciating right now at a rate of 57%, because out of the 19 indicators that the IMF talked about, you realize that 11 of those indicators are now depreciating in 2025 where we are. And one of the key indicators I want you to go look at is loan to the banks, from the bank. The IMF says in 2023, about 38% of the loans that were going out from the banks were going to the private sector. But right now in 2025, you're talking about maybe a little below 5 or 6% of those loans going to the private sector. Open your eyes and ask the business people, these are the real macro issues.
Then where are the loans going?
Where are the loans going? The loans are going to maybe contractors who the government will sign for because they're going to do contract for the government, probably. Or even the places the loan are going are people who are trading, people who are importing rice, people who are importing petroleum products. They go to the bank, quickly take loan and they'll bring in. So it got trade, we call that trade financing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are get trade financing loans that you're talking about. But go to the business people and ask them whether to even get loan from the bank.
What trouble?
It is troubling because the economy is just sitting, it's not turning around. The government is not investing within the economy. The government doesn't have the space. It has to be the bank to come in. If the bank cannot give loan to the private sector, what is happening? We are in trouble.
Could that be the reason why many local businesses are complaining? They
open the line, ask the local businesses. Open the line and ask the local businesses. So because of these critical indicators that are falling apart, the IMF report is somewhat a warning to the government, but the government doesn't see it that way. They just see the 4% growth and they are clapping.
Okay.
They say, I can read some of the places that remain worrisome that the government need to look at. They say, well, building a strong start, more ambitious domestic resource mobilization will be essential. In the IMF report, when you hear the kind of languages, it means it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
They say what? IMF says, building a strong stack, more ambitious domestic revenue mobilization will be essential. Will be, it means not happening.
It's not happening.
I don't want to pick up some of the languages that are there. They say, fiscal deficit mitigation, debt vulnerability, strengthening foreign exchange. The central bank effort to address weaknesses in 3 banks. So the IMF report has situated our country in a position where the government should be worried. And let me tell you one of the things that the government should be worried for.
Okay.
The IMF is like your man. Your man can pet you. The World Bank is like your father. The World Bank get long-term loan and they have conditions. And those conditions are not like, if you don't meet those conditions, they don't pay. So
I thought the government recently qualified for an ECF.
The ECF is with the IMF.
Okay.
And the difference with the IMF, they're giving you the money, what we call balance of payment. These are the things they need to explain to the Liberian people. Because we are exporting more, we are importing more than we export, right?
So what the layman wants to know is that money coming direct? That
money not going to affect them direct. What that money going to be is like, no, you know why? Because you need US dollar to transact, or the currency to transact outside. And we realize that because you are importing more and you don't have US dollar, we technically get going to lend you. It's almost like big money changing transaction.
Okay.
We'll give you this money and the money will be in the central bank. If you want US to go buy goods, you go, we'll give the Liberian, you go and buy the US. That's the kind of money that coming into the economy.
Don't we have money in our reserve?
No, that's what the IMF is doing, to build up the reserve.
I mean,
for development directly, but it's tied to the conditions that the IMF is setting.
Okay.
And this year budget, I realized that should be around $40 million. If they don't meet that trickle, the government will not pay for November and December.
This November,
November and December. Because if World Bank doesn't disburse the budget support because of the lack of meeting these indicators, the government will not pay.
The indicators you just read.
The indicators that we are reading, because we are deteriorating. So the IMF report is not in our favor. Nobody deceives the country.
How's the fiscal arm of the government responding to this?
No, they are responding. I don't know how they respond.
What have you seen?
I heard Minister Depuzo on one of the stations saying they went to the IMF program because the previous government failed, or the previous government was trapped. This is a blatant lie. We entered the program 2019 and the program ended 2023. If even we have one election, we needed to rearrange the program. So they were there fortunate to have come on show and they had to rearrange the program with the IMF. No. We didn't draft from the program. And if I had seen the report, we didn't draft from the program. What I think is happening is that because it's not even, I think the reality is because the government agents lied to the country so much so that it appeared that it was true, and they made it to appear so simplistic that when they take over power, the country will be bread and butter. But it is not happening. So every time they go to studio, or every time they have the opportunity to talk to the Liberian people, they have to lay the foundation on lies that, oh, CDC government, they didn't do this, CDC government, they didn't do this. This is where we come into the picture and say, you know what? You have to stop that. Face the reality of governing this country very well. Face the reality that you told the people that, look, harmonization was not good for the country. And when we take over, we'll reverse harmonization. Reverse harmonization today and begin to pay the people those huge salaries. Interestingly, the CSA that is moving people from on payroll, they don't even have the guts to tell the civil servant that directors at CSA make more than $2,000, while directors at Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Health don't even make $1,000.
Is that a case, Karen?
My brother. Are the CSA people that get the payroll? Yes.
I thought that was harmonization.
Directors at CSA make more money than directors in Ministry of Agriculture or Ministry of Health, for example. So the CSA is saying that they're cleaning wage bill, they're working very hard. That the first thing they're supposed to do and say, look, we cannot be preaching. They say, well, he who can will preach equity when can will clean things, right? The CSA should set that precedent that it is unfair that few elites in the CSA will be making thousands of dollars as directors, and people who work in the hospitals, in the clinics, because you said to us those were wrong, they should be making the thousands of dollars. The country is heading in a dangerous path because the data that is being reported to the IMF by the CSA is inconsistent. The data that is reported to the president at the CSA is also inconsistent. The reflection and the application of that data on the wage bill is also inconsistent. And the reporting of the Minister of Finance doesn't speak to the lies in the report of the CSA.
So recently, the Front Page Africa published that the IMF contradicts CSA over number of civil servants removed from government's payroll. CSA reports 5,536 civil servants removed, saving 1.84 million, while the IMF reports 3,775 removed with 4.4 million saved, raising questions about the government's payroll reform numbers. And these are alarming figures. The disparity is so huge. If you look at the disparity from what the CSA told us, 1.8 million was raised, and the IMF is saying 4.4 million was saved from the removal of 3,775 people. How do you reconcile these?
No, they should reconcile that. I can reconcile for them, but I can even say that the Front Page Africa just took a little piece of that contradiction. In the CSA report, right? The CSA claimed that it saved and removed 6,846 ghost names from the payroll on page 10 of the CSA report. 6,846 ghost names. The figure that the Front Page Africa is reporting and referencing from the web, when you go into the report on page 26, the CSA now broke down how they remove people from the payroll in March, April, May, up to October 2024.
Leaving out November, December.
Leaving out November, December. That's the report that the World Bank or the Front Page Africa is referencing. So in their own report, they say they remove 6,846. And inside that same report, they did a breakdown that went to 5,500 or I think 5,500 or 5,000.
Yeah, 5,500 and so. The numbers they reported, I was quoted in the Front Page Africa publication. But then you're saying in the actual report,
on page 10 of the report to the president, they say they reduced the government wage bill from 69,000 I think to 60,000, which has a difference of 6,486. They mentioned that. They also mentioned that they saved $2.4 million from the government wage bill monthly.
But they told the World Bank,
they saved 1.8 million and they saved 2.5 million every year. How about they told the IMF?
To what? Sending different numbers.
So I don't understand. If you also go to the CSA came up with a memo. In that memo, they try to do clarification.
Yeah, I think I have that memo here. Right. So let's see if we can read that. His name is Benedict Koluba, and of course,
in that memo, you want to read that memo, right? In that memo, there's a line there that they also contradicted themselves. So these are the things the World Bank looking, the IMF looking at, and giving the kind of soft report. So there is nowhere in the IMF report they say the government are taking strong measures. We are convinced. They are just saying it is encouraging.
They've been more diplomatic.
Yeah, I like that word. They've been more diplomatic to say
they see the danger.
They see the danger. They say it will be advisable. It will be expedient. Can't read the whole report.
Okay.
Because they didn't want to get in the political nature of what is going on. They can now talk the macro indicators. This is the first time I see staff release all the macro indicators. They took the macro indicators now and chunk it to the public and say, a level you see the kind of number here, say your country improving at one level you go. So they took the numbers. And we who understand the numbers, we who interpret the oracles, we must come and interpret to the common man.
That's correct. So let's see how the CSA reacted in the statement that was issued very recently on the 9th of October. The CSA says, CSA sets the record straight. IMF and the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning did not conduct any payroll audit. Front Page Africa's report is false and misleading. That's the headline. I mean, they're saying the IMF and the World Bank did not conduct any payroll audit, or the IMF and Ministry of Finance. Now, it reads further. The Civil Service Agency categorically rejects the misleading article published by Front Page Africa on October 9, 2025, titled CSA versus MFDP, Who's Telling the Truth? The story dishonestly report that the CSA removed 5,536 employees and achieved a US 1.8 million in savings, figures taken out of context and inconsistent with the CSA 2024 annual report. So they themselves in this statement is disagreeing with Front Page publication.
But that's why I tell you, they don't even know what they're doing. Because that is in a table on page 26 of the CSA's report, 2024 report.
So what Front Page said was correct?
It's correct.
It's in the very report.
It's in the very report on page 26. On the table caption, goals being removed and saving achieved. It is there. They wrote. Nobody wrote it. I want to tell the people. Some people say, "Oh, why?" I said, "I didn't write the CSA report." But the fact that these same people even believe all of us got mud in our heads and they not come to power, they don't even know where to start from. And we sit and allow those lies to go. It means that what they say about us is true. I want you to go. They read that. I want you to go to one of the lines. So we get close on it because of time. That talks about. I know that line 4 talks about in September that 1, 2, 3, maybe not like paragraph 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Where they got the office of the Comptroller and Accounting General.
Where they talk about the black, some people and blah blah blah.
Yeah, this is it. The GAC recommendation, which the previous administration failed to implement, stated the Office of the Comptroller and Accounting General should place a moratorium on salaries of all employees, 6,387 not verified during the physical verification exercises and for whom legitimate excuses were not provided. Acting on this long ignored directive, the CSA and MFDP issued a joint circular memorandum effective September 2, 2024, temporarily blocking 6,387 unverified individuals pending a 2-month verification exercise. Following the verification, 3,775 fictitious names were conclusively removed, which is the exact number the IMF referenced in its report on Liberia's payroll reform process.
Stop there. The CSA says the 3,775 are reported by the IMF. According to that narrative, they placed 6,000 plus people on temporary block in September, and after 2 months, what I mean September, October, November. So it means that in November they removed 3,771. That's what the IMF took, right? Here's the craziest thing about it, the ridiculous thing about it. In the CSA report on page 26, they claim they removed the 5,000 people from March. Every month they were removing people up to October.
So they said that in the report.
In the report, CSA report, page 26. You got that CSA report?
I got it.
So then they are saying in this clarification that the 3,775 people that were removed, they were removed in November. So meaning that the 5,000 that were removed plus the 3,300 supposed to be combined to be 9,000 plus that were removed from the payroll. According to this one grammar, I love my man, but I understood this grammar that they placed moratorium on the 6,000 after 2 months, and the month was in September. After 2 months, they removed 3,700. So those 2 months were in November by that time. Well, meanwhile, in their same report, they say they removed 5,000 people as of October. In the same report on page 10, they also said they removed 6,000 people from the payroll. So where are we, my brother? These are the critical thing the IMF is looking at and saying, Liberia is in trouble. We are in a big trouble because the foundation that the CSA laid for this government, it will point the government to the end.
What kind of economic outlook, I mean, as we close up, does all of these contradictions pin for the country?
Yes, it pains for the country. The economy all over our country is not good because the IMF in that same report, they're saying that there will be growth in the economy to 4.6. But you know where that growth coming from? The growth is coming from mining. They're saying there will be more gold mining taking place, more gold will be exported, more diamond will be exported. Remember, in the World Bank, what we call economic memorandum that they released in 2024, the World Bank predicted that at the scale at which we are mining gold, by 2040, our gold reserve will be depleted.
Certainly, we saw that.
So then this government is telling us the only thing they have to increase growth in the economy is to mine more gold and diamond and take it from the country. When you're mining gold and diamond, who benefits? King George. Who is benefiting from King George?
And then what I want to come to, as these minings are going on, did that have benefits?
No, our country, this is beyond them. But they profess to have known it, so that's why they should be able to solve it. From the 1950s and 1960s, the economic model of our country had not solved this country problem. And this is why they thought they were going to solve. If you depend on royalty from companies, for example, in the latest report of 2022, there were almost 1.4, 1.6 billion worth of exports, extractive exports from our country. Gold, diamond, iron ore, they took it. The value of what went out of the country. You know how much we got from there? We got almost just less than $185 million from there.
185 million?
Yes, out of 1.4, 1.6 billion export from this country. So the gold and diamond that is being mined, we don't know about artisanal miners, people who hustle. The gold and diamond that is being mined here, they give us peanuts for them. So if the government says that the growth will be in gold and diamond mining, it means that they're coming to get more illegal licenses. They can't afford to get maybe digging the gold, they give royalty to the government and they say the economy is growing. But the trickle-down effect is not undeniable for the people. How I expected them to say the economy will grow by cocoa export, for example. The economy will be growing by coffee export or pineapple export, for example. Who is growing cocoa in this country? That the poor people. So if they are exporting cocoa,
robot export.
Even not robot that to my desire, because, for example, if rubber corporations are exporting rubber, right? When they export the rubber, the U.S. sits within the Liberian economy. We call that export retention. You might not do surrender. But if Liberians are exporting, they buy the produce from there in high currency. They bring that money and pull it in the bank in Liberia. So a Liberian got 50 million, for example, 25 million. They don't use those 25 million in 1 day or in 2 months. Because that US is sitting there, economically, the country can trade that US and you will not have people rushing out looking for US. But the goods that are going on, the produce that are going on, that the government saying that what they're interested in, the people buy those produce from them offshore, they buy it from them in America, in China, the US dollar stays right there. When Flaton sells or rubber, they don't bring the money to save in the Liberian economy. When how they call it? The gold mining company, they say that their gold is still there. They want to bring operational funds here. This is the kind of economic model that the people in the Ministry of Finance are being able to introduce to the country. And so this is the side they're going because people will give royalty. We are in trouble.
We're in trouble. His name is Nicola. He's very here. Of course, we have to have these conversations across different government issue, economic issues, so that Liberians will know exactly what is happening and all of that. So let's take calls. You all are out there, right? If you have a Cantor and just whatever the case, 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers to call. This is the Freedom Morning Rise from Freedom 87.9. I'm here with Hilda Gonda, and of course, let's do this.
Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
You live.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Okay, good morning. Very thank you. You know, today you explain well, and I get a whole thing. Now, we don't go to other station, they can't check the they can't check the whole thing, but you talk. So they calling people, they'll be saying, yeah, do the way I do it. Thank you very much. For you, the legendary, the past government, you want it, man, Maya. You want to put that one, they can't play the role, or they play the government, take it all,
all right, thank you. Let's talk to Edmond Kai. Edmond, morning.
Yeah, let me say good morning to the both of you. Thanks to you guys, man. And you know, Benedict, good morning to you. Whenever Benedict Koroba was appearing at Minister of Information press briefing, I'm going to my radio. This guy, if I'm in the financial sector, he will always be my mentor. Look, that is clear. During the very broadcast government, the people have, I don't know what they think, an assistant. They had a 2 allowance system. Special allowance, where the minister gets good amount of money, then the general allowance is determined by the director or the minister. And if you, Abu, are my best friend, a haircut will be entitled to $62. You, Abu, my best friend, you'll be entitled to $500 because it is determined by the minister or the director.
Okay.
But you know, the reason why the government is failing is because they don't want to bring other technocrats to be able to help them. The very government situation said in the early government are consultant that it may help them to have that million challenge benefit. But this government, they are the experts. Everything they come out to the popular way, it is lie. Look at the saddest thing, the reserve.
Okay.
You receive that money, you run ahead and you are succeeding getting to the $6 million. Only to come to know that the money has gone to the reserve.
Okay.
You sell the reserve because you are depleting
Okay.
our reserve and you are not able to tell your supporters. So it's just to see and people say, kudos to you, brother. Keep doing this and we are with you. Meaning the assistant minister are the real tradition.
Thank you. Hussein Kel, let's hear you.
Thank you. For the public, this is Hussein Kel. I call on Twitter.
10 seconds.
Yeah, quickly. Let me say good morning to the people in the studio. So, Abu, when you have professional on the radio, we have to be careful when we sign. Now people will just want to call and be loudly. So, yes, my question to the professional in the studio. I listened to one of the deputy ministers of the Ministry of Finance. He said that this is the first in the history of the Ministry of Finance. According to him, I'm quoting him, that the government received a direct monetary allocation from the IMF to the Ministry of Finance. That is the purpose of Liberia. Did you experience that when you are in the Ministry of Finance? Is it true? So we will go through the past chapter and they can correct us.
All right. Thank you very much. So he wants to know whether that session by the deputy minister who knew he did not call.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Abu, and good morning, Higa.
Morning.
Yeah, President Mohammed, and I call for a proof of column, now postpone you, with the community. President want to connect Benedict. Minister Benedict, thank you. Once a minister will always be a minister. Look, you guys are able to be underestimated, you guys. He said all sorts of negative things about you guys. Yet they are falling beneath your belt. Oliver, take the airway, expose them. Tell them that they are grossly incompetent. They hated you guys because of this jealousy and envy. I hear my brother talking about where the case of today. Let day. Look, Rick was on radio telling us that the government got started in for IMF consultation. But you guys get yourself better with negativity. Everything that President we had there was not.
Thank you very much. Brando addressed man's concern. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I am actually new number of District 17.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
I want to say kudos to the minister in studio. The minister said it all. You know,
former assistant minister so that the public gets it.
Yeah, so you have a former minister, right? There was a lot of things that the past government did that was previously seen. But because the current government is loud and things were not tangible, it was the past government, that's why the people voted the way they voted. But if you don't talk about the local rule, right? There are a lot of market people that were constructed. But our people too was not coming to all those people. It's the same mistake I'm making, right? That's what is continually lying on the television. They're not coming in here to debunk them. So that is the mistake. I want to say, the former minister, he continue to debunk those listening every year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's talk to this person from the international line.
Let me just. Okay, go ahead.
Morning.
Morning. Am I audible enough?
Yes, go ahead.
You're good.
I want our studio guests to reconcile.
Can you please identify yourself, Chief?
My name is Elston Legend. We say I call from the USA. So I want our studio guests to reconcile the two. He said that the CDC government boost our standings with the IMF. You guys did better. So how do the people vote you out
if you improve their lives. I want you to reconcile the two statements.
Okay. Okay. So let me take this person. Good morning.
Go
ahead, Mark. Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Go ahead.
Now, why you will say, according to that member of the state, or what he has said, because of their line, that why they finish from power, and not to say that.
But the question, that question for Benedict, answer. You said. So you are answer on the Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning. You are our last caller. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
I've been monitoring this show through I feel one of the best artists of all on the show today. I really enjoy it. He said it best. So thanks to you guys.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me squeeze this person there. Trying to, so let me squeeze you quickly and then go to. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Morning, boss.
Thank you, Tony. I actually want to talk with 30 days money. Let me appreciate you in federal art in that scale. In the economy of the economy of the what it is. So, more I think will lie to the people that George will not provide people will not provide for the people. Yeah. Now, people know for that CDC because of development, because of lack settings. Thank you for the show and opportunity.
All right, thank you very much. The way you're answering the question, this is it. This is your people. So, of course, you listen to the callers. How do you respond?
So, I've always thought that 1 hour is long for discussion, but sometimes when I said that 1 hour is going on only to me.
Yeah.
But let me say to the caller from the US, I didn't say, I don't lie. I didn't say that we boosted with IMF low. I said, Deputy Minister Deputy Deputy Minister for Economic Management and Minister of Finance and Development Planning on Prime FM, and actually I'm going to go sitting as in seat to debunk him, said that Liberia dropped from the IMF program because of CDC poor management of the economy. I said, and let me repeat myself, that was a blatant lie. I reference you go to the IMF website, click to the IMF website, and call for Liberia ECF program 2019.
Okay.
The ECF program is normally for 40 months. So we started 2019 in the 2023. So even if we have one election, we had to renew the IMF program.
Re-enter the
so
program.
Because we didn't win, that had to re-enter the program. And let me say this. Well, the way the other guy who said why we left, we were not defeated. Yeah, we were not defeated.
No, there was a question about the credit, the 20 minutes. So Deputy Minister said that was the first time.
Oh, that. So first minister, I will go. That Deputy Minister was Deputy Minister for International Cooperation and Minister of Foreign Affairs. When we took over, we realized that the IMF had even given almost $103 or $107 million to the government that came for direct budget support before the CDC government. But if I thought CDC government, you say that in fact that debt was not even on the records of the government. We have to recognize it before we go into the IMF program. So that is just a bit. Now, most of the IMF program is for balance of payment. It means that there will be small money that goes to the government to do some other work. But bulk of it is towards that. And let me also say this, that look, the reason we've come in is because we got defeated because of the lies. For example, nobody in this country, from RIA, from EIA to Rabosport or to RIA. Everybody knows that Georgia started that role, the CDC government, right? But the current minister told the people that the role was a death trap. In fact, we're not paying the role correctly. It was a big talk show here.
That's correct.
Okay, the other thing is Mo Ali, Amos Twe, the rest of the people in there, they told the Liberian people that the CDC government stole $16 billion Liberian dollars.
The long said the economy was in the toilet.
In the toilet. You know what? And the Liberian people believe that $16 billion was missing in this country. What they were saying in essence is that people can use Liberian dollar in Guinea, in Nigeria, or in America, because when you take $16 billion from here, it means that you went to the gold mine and took everybody money from their pocket, because the whole country was around $20 billion. How can one group of people take $16 billion? Where are they going to keep it? Imaginarily, it's impossible. But again, because the people told the people and they agree with them.
When you people were around, you did not do nothing for
we said it. But again, I take some responsibility because we were not forceful. We were not going to the villages telling the people these are lies. Today, whatever we're saying, they are fact-based. The reason why nobody debate you, today you arrange a debate with the Minister of Finance team, they will not come because my arguments are fact-based. I'm using their own reports. I'm using the report from the IMF. Yesterday, they were just talking off head.
They're not even accepting invitation from critical media.
No. And so let me tell the Liberian people, the money that's coming to this country, the banking system is giving loan only to few people, the private sector. In fact, the Liberian private sector, according to studies, there is something we call the Liberian private sector does not have the capacity. Okay. So the central bank has released something, let me close on that. And they said they reduced interest rate on loans from 17 to 16%. And people are clapping. Do not clap for that. Because the private sector in our country is about 80-90% owned by foreigners. And so those who have the capacity to take loan from the bank are not Liberian entrepreneurs. Don't take those kind of loans. It has to be those big foreign companies. So if you reduce the interest rate for them, it means what is happening is you are just reducing the interest rate for your friends who are.
So it's being reduced for the Lebanese and the Indians, merchants.
Who are taking the loan from the bank. What you should be saying is you provide a line of credit for medium or small scale businesses. We have put $20 million in the bank. It's just for small businesses, for rural businesses. Now you're talking about the economy.
That's the one the Liberians.
That's the one the Liberians will celebrate. If I hear the government say we put $20 million, that $20 million is here for rural businesses. Don't tell me about the $40 million that we want with the World Bank that is currently being implemented. Don't tell me about that.
The one the CDC wanted.
Yes, we started a $40 million financing agreement with the IMF, and the money project was said. Don't tell me about that. Tell me about a new $40 million. That money will be put in LPTI in Banga, for example. That money will just sit in Banga. It will be for rural businesses. In fact, because it's a rural business, it will not be in the banking or Monrovia. Then you are moving the economy. Liberian people, we are in a big trouble. The people lie to you to come to power. They are governing on lies. The reason you have come here, let them run their government. Anytime you come to studio and say the CDC government is a lie, I will tell you it's a lie. I have documented, I will come here on the next stage, I documented almost 88 contracts in the road sector. Those 88 contracts, we completed about 56 of those contracts. We turned over 32 of those contracts. I might even be underestimating those contracts. Those 32 contracts are the ones they are doing right now. There isn't any new road contract that have been signed to my knowledge.
So everything they're bragging about in the Southeast,
we signed the road contract from Uganda to Sakripi, from Sakripi to Tapeta, from Tapeta to Toastan. We did the financing agreement from Toastan to Zwedru. We did it from Fishtown to Karibu. We signed, so from Banga to Salary, we signed that agreement. If they sign any other agreement, then that's fine. We signed the road construction agreement from bridge to bridge. You have a bridge to bridge. From here, we signed that road. Medina Road going to Rabosport, we signed that road. So I don't know where else they have to sign. Cocoa Factory Road, So Cleaning Road, Chubo, Tusafi.
So when they bring the yellow machine, where they going to put it?
No, they were carrying it. We can talk about that another time.
Thank you.
Let me say thank you very much. This is my first time here. We'll continue to speak to the Liberian people. If all goes well, if you follow me on Prime FM on Thursday morning, I will be there.
Thanks a lot. His name is Benedict Koluba, and of course, he's been a very beautiful guest here on the final segment of the conversation on the Freedom Morning Rise. This is how we like to go home on the Tuesday morning edition of the show. Higa.
Then let's keep the peace of Liberia. This country will not burn.
Until we see you, do have yourself a wonderful time. Bye bye.